Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Joe Heikes, Product Manager at Garmin. Thank you for joining us, Joe.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Exciting week at Garmin. You've got a bunch of new Forerunner watches that have been announced and that are arriving. First of all, describe a little bit about the line for people who aren't familiar with Forerunner, because you have a number of different kinds of watches out there. How the Forerunner line is positioned.
You bet. Yeah, happy to do that. It was a very big week for us. In fact, I don't think we've ever announced, five. I'm sure we have never announced five Forerunners all at the same time like this ever before. So it is exciting times for me, especially as the product manager for the Forerunners. The Forerunners are our product line that are built for purpose for runners and athletes. So we have other product lines, our Vivo product line, which is very successful. We're very proud of our Vivo, Vivo Active, Vivo Smart, Vivo Move, or many of our Vivo products that are built for, active lifestyle, people that run, but they also maybe do lots of other things as well, but they may not say that running is kind of their main thing. By contrast, the Forerunners are built with people in mind, where people would say running is my thing, and then we build the Forerunner line for those people as well as for triathletes as well. So, our higher end watches are also built with the triathlete as well as the more serious runner in mind. So that's kind of what, at a high level, what differentiates the Forerunner product line from, say, the Vivo product line. And then our Phoenix product line, which is our most premium line, I guess you'd say, because Phoenix line is where we introduce more premium materials and things of that nature, and they are also built to be used in a wide variety of sports. They're also built for running and triathlon, those things as well. So, but the Forerunner line is for runners, as we like to say.
Very interesting. Now, tell us about these new models that you've announced here. As you said, that you've got five of them in all, starting with the Forerunner 45. There's a Forerunner 45S, the Forerunner 245, the Forerunner 245 Music, and finally the Forerunner 945. Let's start out. I guess we'll work our way up with the 45 and 45S. Tell us about these watches and what's new.
Sure. So the Forerunner 45 and 45S are essentially the same watch from an internal point of view, and from the brains and the features of the watches. The 45 and 45S are the same watch. The thing that makes them different is the 45S is a little bit smaller than the 45. So its case diameter is about 39.5 millimeters, whereas the 445 is about 42 millimeters, and so it's a little smaller. Its bands are a little bit shorter as well. So we really, with the 445S, we very much have the smaller female runner in mind, as well as young people that may be getting their very first Forerunner. So that watch is really meant to fit that person well without a bunch of extra band hanging off the end, to be comfortable and look attractive on a smaller wrist. So that's what the 45S is all about. The 445 is more meant to suit anybody, and it's still a fairly small watch, to be honest with you, but it's more designed with anybody in mind. And from a features point of view, they're both, as I was emphasizing before, they're both meant for runners. So running is the main thing. So of course, the things that have always come along with our Forerunner products, which is high quality GPS, time, distance, pace, track, those sorts of features that come along with our built-in GPS technology that our customers have come to appreciate. Many running features that come with kind of standard have come with our Forerunners for a long time. Things like auto lapping the watch every mile. Things like an auto pause feature that allows the watch to just automatically stop for you when you stop at a stoplight. So you don't have to interact with the timer if you don't want to. It'll just do it for you. So there's a whole bevy of features that go along with all of our Forerunners that are in the 445 already. In addition, the 45, which is our new entry level product, for the first time ever in our entry level products, we have some pretty exciting, cool features. Number one, I would say, is it's a pretty color display. So this is the first time we've offered a color display in our entry level product. Also, we offer now the advanced workout support in our entry level watch as well, which we've never done before. So that's a new feature in the entry level watch. And lastly, what also works along nicely with our workout functionality in the Forerunner 45 is our Garmin Coach system. We have a system that very few people have anything like it, that does adaptive coaching for people trying to reach their goals in a 5K, a 10K, or a half marathon. And the Forerunner 45 works just like hand in glove with those training plans. So those are some of the exciting things about the Forerunner 45, and so we're very excited to bring that watch to market with those new capabilities that we've never offered sort of at the entry level.
And those training plans that you were talking about are free?
They are free, yes. Anybody can sign up for the training plans on our Garmin Connect, our Garmin Connect app. We have a mobile app as well as a web app, like most people do these days. So yeah, they are free. Anybody can sign up for them and follow one of these adaptive training plans. And we work with really well recognized coaches who have helped us develop these adaptive training plans that actually adapt to you as you train towards your goal.
Let's talk now about the next model up, the Forerunner 245 and the 245 Music. What are the differences here?
You bet. So when we step up to the Forerunner 245 from the 45, some of the features that come in addition are, first of all, it's a little bit nicer hardware, so it's a little bit bigger display, a little bit more pixels, a little better resolution. So that's kind of one of the nice things right off the bat when you step up to the Forerunner 245. It's got pretty much not pretty much, I would say it has all the features of the Forerunner 45. So anything that you had in the 45, you will get in the 245. And then additionally, it brings on board some of our training features from a physiological point of view that we don't have in the Forerunner 45. So this would be like our training effect values, the training status, those features like that kind of tell you more, give you more insight into how your running training is unfolding. Or actually, it really could apply to any aerobic conditioning as long as you're wearing the watch and we can get your heart rate signal. Which, by the way, I should have mentioned on Forerunner 45, as well as this applies to all the watches I'm going to talk about. They all have a built-in, which is Garmin's latest generation wrist-based heart rate monitor. So, that will read your heart rate using LEDs right through the skin and your wrist. So there's no need for people that don't want the inconvenience of an external heart rate monitor. It'll read the heart rate right there on the back of the watch through your skin. So the 245 has that as well, just like the 45. And then additionally, the 245 also adds capability for our running dynamics. So Garmin has developed a couple of accessories that will measure things like your ground contact time, your ground contact time balance. So actually the amount of time you spend on each foot as you're running, which can give you a feeling for how symmetrical or asymmetrical your running form is, your real-time stride length, your cadence, all those sorts of things, your vertical travel while you're running, we call it vertical oscillation. So all of those measurements are also supported on the Forerunner 245 with an appropriate accessory. Those do require an accessory. We have two main accessories that provide those metrics. They're our HRM run, which stands for Heart Rate Monitor Run. So it has the running dynamics features built into it, as well as we have a running dynamics pod that also we sell that is very, very lightweight little sensor that you just clip to the back of your running shorts or your running tights, and it will also calculate those measurements and transmit them to the watch. So those are some of the things that sort of set apart the 245, some of the features that are more advanced than the 445. I was going to say, then of course, with the 245 Music, that brings on board a whole other very, very nice feature with the music. So, most runners, in my experience, really hate to run with their phone. The two main reasons people choose to run with their phones really have to do with safety and music. And just to cut to the chase there on that story, and so while runners do, many runners, the majority of runners do run with a smartphone. I would also argue, Fred, certainly, I think this is borne out not only in my personal experience, but people have looked at the question. They also hate it. Nobody really wants to carry a phone along when they're running. They do because of the features it brings along. So the beautiful thing about the Forerunner 245 Music is you can, if you're not as concerned about the safety aspect, you can just wear your watch and bring your tunes along with you. And the watch connects to Bluetooth headphones, so wirelessly, and transmits the music to your headphones, and you're just, you're off with just your watch and headphones, and boom, you're out the door. We also support third-party music streaming providers. So, for example, if you have a Spotify premium account, you can synchronize you can pick which of your Spotify playlists or whatever Spotify content that you have. You can choose in advance to synchronize that to your watch, and you can synchronize hours worth of it. And then out you go, and you're playing your Spotify on the run. And we also support, there's a service from a company called Deezer, which is similar to Spotify. We support them as well. And then on top of all that, if you own your own library of your own music, you can also, just like an MP3, like an old school MP3 player, you can just load up your own music on the watch, and that works fine too. So there's lots of different options for music, and the Forerunner 245 Music is I think our runners really will appreciate that feature on that watch.
Tell us about the pricing of the models we've talked about so far.
Yeah, you bet. So the Forerunner 45 and 45S are retail priced at $199. So as I was saying, that's kind of our entry-level price point. The Forerunner 245 is priced at $299, and the Forerunner 245 Music is $349. So those are the prices on those guys.
And then finally, we can move up to the Forerunner 945, your flagship here.
Yeah, I would say that's our new Forerunner flagship for sure. For those that aren't familiar with it, with the Forerunner 935, it's very much like the 935 was. So our Forerunner 935 is a very fully capable advanced running and triathlon watch, and so it really has any running feature that Garmin has ever made, including even more advanced, physiological and training measurements, including a pretty complete set of cycling capabilities, such as support to work with a cycling power meter. It has our full swimming capabilities, including the ability to take a heart rate that's measured under the water with our heart rate or our heart rate sensors that work underwater, and then sort of put that data back into your activity on the watch. So it can put together the swimming, everything, our advanced swimming, our advanced biking, our advanced running, and then of course, with that watch, you get the capability it can all be stitched together in a triathlon. So if you want to compete in a triathlon, you literally can just change sports at the press of a button. So you come out of the water, bang, you hit the button, and now you're in transition. And then you jump on the bike, and bang, you hit the button again, and you're on the bike. And, the screen changes for you to see the data you want to see, for each sport in the triathlon. So it's a fully capable triathlon watch as well as being a fully advanced running watch. But the exciting thing about the 945 that even takes it beyond where the 935 was as a very capable device, or that we've added three major functions and then several other, I think, important upgrades as well. And those three major additions are music, which we just talked about. with the Forerunner 245 music. So the Forerunner 945 has built-in music capability and roughly twice as much song storage capability as the Forerunner 245 music. So all the music stuff that the 245 music can do, the 945 can do. So you get music on the 945. You get maps. We added onboard maps to the Forerunner 945 as well. So for those, if you ever get lost on a run, you can look at a map and see your surroundings, and not just the little breadcrumb trail of where you ran, but you get full color maps of streets and trails and so forth all around you. So that can be a very nice feature. In fact, you can put that map display right in your training page loop if you want to do that. So we get music, we get maps, and then another wonderful feature that I am personally a huge fan of is the feature I like to call Money, which is officially called Garmin Pay. So Garmin Pay is Garmin's contactless payment solution, where you can scan your watch right there at the checkout at the grocery store or 10,000 billion other places to pay, and you don't have to whip out your credit card. I've always felt like this is a super compelling feature for endurance athletes, especially like marathon runners, which I am one of, because if you don't want to run with your phone, you definitely don't want to run carrying money or a wallet either most of the time. But man, I've wanted to stop into Quick Trip and get a Gatorade halfway through a long run, and with Garmin Pay right there on your watch, that is a real option. And I actually now use that feature all the time, not just running, but I just use it because it's easy and I like it. So the 945 with the music, money, and maps, as I like to call it, and then also we added some really exciting new physiological measurements as well, which I think things like heat acclimation, altitude acclimation. We do a new feature called Training Load Focus, which kind of shows you how your training is structured for the last 4 weeks. Are you doing mostly aerobic, mostly anaerobic, and how is your training broken down? So those are, and there are many things to talk about on Forerunner 945 because it's such a complete and beautiful product in my opinion. But that's kind of the high points.
Tell us about you have another feature, I believe, and I'm not sure which models have it, the ability to share your location and for the watch to actually summon help if you need it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to mention that. So those features are actually available across all of these Forerunners we've been talking about, all the way down to the little Forerunner 45. It's only less than $200. So there's two sort of safety features. One of them is called incident detection, and that one is an automatic kind of a feature. So if you set that up, if you have a bicycle crash or God forbid, you collapse while you're running, that sort of thing, the watch it will start a countdown, and if you don't cancel it, it will then connect to your smartphone and send a message to emergency contacts that you identified in advance. So your mom, your brother, your sister, whatever, up to 3 people I think we allow, that will send out an emergency message to. So the one limitation there that I have to stress is that particular feature does require that you have your smartphone with you or it won't work because the watch itself can't talk to the cellular network. But if you're carrying your watch along with you anyway, or your phone anyway along on the run, then that feature is for you. Additionally, there's the feature called assistance is basically a manual way of triggering the same thing. So we have a way where you press and hold on the power and light button, and you hold down on it until you feel the watch vibrate three times. It gives 3 sharp little vibrations after about, I can't remember, 9 or 10 seconds or something like that. And then it will initiate the same kind of a countdown. I think in this case it's about 5 seconds that you can cancel it. And then it will send out a message through your phone that will send not only that you need help, but that if we can get a GPS fix and everything, we'll send that information as well, so that your emergency contact people know where you are. So yeah, those are exciting new features, and we're excited to do more with those in the future as well.
For more information on these, where's the best place for folks to go?
Well, I would go to www.garmin.com probably, and look at our webpage, and you can search under wearables, you can search under running products, you can search under Forerunners. There's different ways probably to get to the same information, but I feel like we do a pretty good job of making a lot of that available, a lot of that information available to the public through our website. Those are good places to go.
Terrific. Again, it's Garmin.com. Joe Heikes, thank you for taking the time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now this. Innovation. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, and I've been covering consumer technology for a long time, and it takes a lot to impress me. That's why I'm excited to tell you about the latest way to enjoy cooking in the great outdoors from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. What if you could harness the sun to cook your meals anywhere you go, day or night? The GoSun Fusion arrives this summer using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage, and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co and use the code TEXTINATION to save 10%. That's gosun.co.